HR tech and music. What a heady combination on a lovely Saturday afternoon here in Delhi. Now, over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about a number of trends and disruptions in the HR tech space 2020 and beyond. But today the focus will be on HCM platforms. In fact, enterprise HCM platforms, human capital management tech platforms. And if you actually look at what Josh Bersin had written, I mean, he clearly says that these platforms have been evolving. In the early 60s and 70s, it was all about systems of record. And then they moved on to become what we call systems of talent over the next couple of decades. And now, until recently, they have become what we call as systems of engagement. But 2020 and beyond, they will have to morph into systems of intelligence. So what are some of these trends and disruptions that we're going to see? And we've identified about 5 of them. Now, firstly, if you really look at HCM platforms, they are largely focused around the core, which is HRMS and payroll. And these themselves are extremely complex. Now, these platforms are also facing intense pressure to build solutions and capabilities around talent, employee experience, and so on. And we've actually seen many of them start building and actually having built some of these applications. And we've also seen some acquisitions that have happened in the past. But in 2020 and beyond, we're going to see an accelerated flow of acquisitions happening so that these platforms can become complete and they can deliver an intelligent experience to enterprises. Secondly, I think the important thing here is that HCM platforms will need to have an open architecture. And increasingly, the new gen applications will have an open architecture. And that's clearly because there's an intense now pressure even from organizations which are telling them that, look, hey, we've got this ecosystem of apps that we use outside of the HCM. Now they all need to get integrated, and there has to be data flow between the HCM and these applications. So clearly you're going to see more and more focus on making these applications open architecture. The third area really is around data analytics, which is a very, very critical component. Because today you find that organizations have a multitude of HR tech solutions that they use. All these HR tech solutions come with fantastic data output, great dashboards. Even the HCM platforms have great dashboards. But what CXOs now want is a worldview. And the pressure is on the HCM to actually pull in all this data and provide meaningful, actionable insights to CXOs. Now, if they don't do it, someone else will. Fourthly, new gen platforms will be mobile first. And that's really critical because it's all about employee experience. And it's about HCM in the flow of work. And this will also tremendously increase adoption across organizations. And finally, applications now need to move to the next level of intelligence. Now, the reality is that these platforms are sitting on huge amounts of data, customer data, employee data, and they need to use AI to start making some meaningful deductions from this data, start building smart industry benchmark, people-centric metrics, so that overall value proposition to enterprises can be significant. Now, these are some of the key trends that we see happening with enterprise HCM platforms. But having said that, there is also a huge market in the mid-market segment and in the SMB segment, and there are a whole set of different HCM players who actually operate there. So actually, you should stay tuned to next week when I have a conversation with someone who's a rising star in the HCM space, focusing on that particular segment. Wherein we would understand and have a discussion around what are some of those innovations happening there right here even in India. So friends, continue listening to some good music and stay tuned to HR2Tech.com.